Why does it need a hepatitis shot?
All right, so they say, and so expectant mother, this is what we're going to do. Is this okay with you? I mean, any sane mother, if it were put that way to her, would say, you're not going to do that by any stretch of the imagination. You're not even going to get close to my kid. But it's all couched in this very academic sort of language. We know through thousands of studies that not only are these things safe, but they're marvels and wonders of the world that prevent disease. This is all complete baloney. And the mothers of autistic children know this. They know. There is no way to contradict them. They were there. They
and
saw
I want something so my kids don't get sick. But when it has such a horrible track record like Gardasil that killed all the people in the trials and caused autoimmune disorders and is banned in Japan and India, and then now they want to give it to boys, there just seems to be such an arrogance, Dr. Wakefeild. Where does your gut tell you all of this ends? As the vaccine damage mounts, as the autism numbers climb, is there going to be Nuremberg trials for these people down the road?
Well, we have two options now. We've reached a major crossroads, and Dr. Thompson has given us an opportunity. But if we do nothing, if you carry on and you look at the CDC's numbers, it's 1 in 68 now. Then for a child born today, it's going to be 1 in 25. And in 2025, it's going to be 1 in 2 children.
Good God.
A serious neurological problem. Those are the CDC's own numbers.
So half the public, basically, with neurological disorders, sacrificed on the altar of MDs and the vaccines.
But here's the problem, Alex. Medicine gives us the thin end of the wedge to begin with. The leading edge is autism. It's so overt, it's so obvious that we pick it up first. If you are just shaving 9 points off a boy's IQ, how long will it take you to pick that up? 20 years in the case of lead poisoning. So are we seeing a much more pervasive problem with boys failing in school, boys failing in university? They're dropping out, they're on Ritalin.
Because their blood-brain barrier is not as strong as a woman's.
Yeah, well, for many, many reasons that we don't understand. But the point is, this is likely to be, for sound biological reasons, a much more pervasive effect.
A lobotomy of men. This is it's on purpose. It's clear. So this is all trendy liberals.
That's one alternative. The other alternative, we take this extremely seriously. We stand back and we say rationally, let us look at the science of this, or the lack of science, and let us pick this apart and do the safest thing for children if we are going to protect them from infectious disease. And preserve their brains. And well,
I mean, as more whistleblowers, senior, come out, how can they prop it up, Dr. Wakefeild? I guess they just hope no one talks about it. They hope this audience doesn't spread the word about this podcast or this live show or this YouTube. I guess it's up to you, folks. You going to save the kids out there?
It is up to the public, and this is not going to happen from the top down. It's going to happen from the bottom up. And what people have got to do is get onto their politicians. This is not a political issue. This crosses all the parties.
This is humanity.
This is getting onto your politician and demanding that you support Congressman Posey in his advocacy for a congressional oversight committee.
Well, there's the answer. How many congresspeople and senators have gone public because their grandson can't talk anymore? They're at their house one week running around having fun. The next week they can't talk. I mean, this is not rocket science. I mean, something's going on here.
Yeah, so Congress has got to
point here, Alex, and that is, look, I've interviewed a number of people back starting in 1987 when I was writing my first book, people who had never been vaccinated, but they had been brought up on good diets, good nutrition, good environment, good family, et cetera, and they weren't eating all kinds of junk food and so forth, and they weren't taking all kinds of medical drugs for non-existent conditions that were just there to sell pharmaceuticals. And these people came through fine. They were not only came through fine, they were exceedingly healthy. So the whole house of cards is a sham. You want to protect people from getting sick? You raise them correctly. You have a world in which people can grow up healthy naturally. The body knows what to do. You're going to inject all these poisons in tiny babies whose immune systems are not even developed yet and say that it's going to stimulate their immune system to protect them from future disease when they virtually have no immune system yet? I mean, this is completely insane. No, what you do is you do the very thing that eliminated contagious diseases in the West in the first place. Better sanitation, better nutrition, less overcrowding, and so forth and so on. This is what you do. I mean, this is really
fresh air and sunshine. Fresh air and sunshine. Incredibly epic. NoMoreFakeNews.com. John Rappoport, thank you so much for being part of this special broadcast tonight.
Thank you, Alex. Always a pleasure.
Dr. Wakefeild, autism, media channel on YouTube. We'll tweet it out to everybody at Real Alex Jones. I want to have you back up in the next week or two for a 2-hour interview with listeners calling in with their stories. Thank you so much. But I know you do this because you care about the kids, but it's got to be fulfilling to now be vindicated.
It'll be fulfilling, Alex, if we achieve what we need to achieve, and that is it's up to the people to prevail. It's up to them to exert the due democratic process, get onto your politicians.
That's right.
Demand a congressional hearing.
The answer is look in the mirror. Great job with the crew. See you back tomorrow live 11 a.m. Infowars.com.